Hi and welcome. I'm Rebecca Weaver. I'm going to be solving linear equations with fractions today. So let's look at this linear equation. We have x over 2 minus 4 equals 5. What I would like to do is kind of get rid of the fractions and then I don't have to deal with them. If I would just multiply both sides of this equation by 2, which is what I can do, it's the same as a balance beam, just doubling both sides. I would distribute that 2 to both the x over 2 and the 4. Got to multiply both of those out. I would get 2x over 2 minus 8 equals 10. Now 2x over 2 is going to simplify to just x minus 8 equal 10. I'll then add 8 to both sides, and I'll get x is 18. Now, you know we have to do this. We need to check to see if it works. So I need to plug in 18 for x, and I need to do 18 over 2 minus 4. And I'm hoping that it equals 5. And if it does, I'm finished and I just won. And it does, of course, because 9 minus 4 equals 5. So it's a good thing. Let's look at another one. I have 39 minus 5 over 2q equals 4q. That's really messy. So what I'd like to do is multiply both sides by the denominator, and you guessed it, that's 2. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 over 1, multiplying both terms, the 39 and the 5 over 2q by 2, multiplying the other side. 2 times 39 is 78, multiplying 2 over 1 times 5 over 2. The 2's cancel, leaving me with just 5, and then 4q times 2 is 8. Now what I'd like to do is get all the q's on one side. And if you know me, I don't like negative q, so I'm going to add 5q to both sides. That way, I can have a positive q, makes me happy that way. I find that negatives are where we make most of our mistakes. So if we can avoid making something negative, we should just do that. So we have 78 equals 13q. Then what I'm going to do, let's rewrite that a little bit. Divide both sides by 13, and I'll get that q is 6. Now, what I need to do is check it to see if it works. I'll know if my answer is right. I'm just going to put in a 6 into my original and see what I get. When I do this, I get 39 minus 15, and that'll be 24. And then I'm going to multiply 4 times 6 to the right-hand side and see if that's 24, and it is, so I'm happy. Next, I'm going to do this really messy one. So what I'd like to do is multiply both sides by what I'm going to say is the common denominator. That'll make everything wipe away. So I'm going to choose a 4 to multiply both sides by. I'm then going to distribute that 4 to both of those two terms. And what I'll get is when I multiply 4 times the first term, 2 goes into 4 2 times. That's why I have a 2 sitting here. And then times the x plus 5. Don't forget that that's in a group, so that needs to stay in a group. Minus, next one's pretty easy because the 4's cancel. The hard part is that negative, and remembering that negative refers to that whole quantity, so you'll have to remember that. Put that in parentheses so that you know that it distributes. But notice the fraction is gone, and that's lovely. 4's cancel on this last one, and I just get 11. So then what I'll do, simplify a little bit. I'm going to distribute. I'll get 2x plus 10 minus x, and watch that sign change on that 6. Very important. Equals 11. I'll simplify. I'll add 2x minus x, and I'll get x. Then I'll do 10 plus 6, and I will get 16 equals 11. Subtract 16 from both sides, and I get that x is negative 5. So I'll write that down. Next, I'm going to check it to see if it works. I'll plug in a negative 5, and I'll get 0 minus a negative 11 over 4. That negative negative then makes it a positive, and I'm all done. So in working with linear equations with fractions, what I do is try to eliminate the fractions, and then I don't have to deal with them. And that makes my life much simpler. All right, if you have any questions, you know what to do. Email me, rweaver10 at alaska.edu. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful day.